Now, what really sucks is my buddy Jake. Well, I think he's in Texas now, but when all this talking on Facebook and all that, he was in Texas. But just before that, he was a sheriff, and I didn't know that. I did know that John Long and Brian, I forget his last name, but Brian, he became a state trooper. Yeah, just my luck, huh? And apparently they still hold a grudge. It's just kid shit, but it's ridiculous, really. But I'm just talking about the story, and I was young and dumb, you know. Like I said, I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect, and I do tell you the mistakes I've made. I also tell you what I've done to try and, make them better or not do them again. But once people know that you've made certain mistakes along certain lines, they try and bring that out and make it look like you're still doing it. Or, since people have made it look like that before, then why not just keep doing what the other person did? That's how some people end up with a background that's not exactly true. I've never really looked down on women like they act like guys do. I mean, I will talk to an ignorant woman just like she's talking to me if she's being rude, but normally I'm very sweet, I'm very respectful, ma'am this, ma'am that, I'll hold the door for you, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to bow down and kiss your ass just because you think you're a badass boss bitch, and that's just this type of delusional reality you're wanting people to follow along with. Nope. Like friends on Facebook, they have a lot of things that they do in their life. We get along goofing off on Facebook, but when I talk to them individually and find out, what their beliefs are and how, see how compatible we are as friends that way, dude, almost everybody I hear, especially the females, Wicca, 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 Wicca. It's either Wicca, Satanism, or atheist. Oh, that's not Satanism. Yes, it is. They're all a branch off of freaking Satanism. All of them. It's crazy. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to do some of those things before I knew what they were. Talking to the dead and all that stuff. Which, hold on. The stuff I did when I was a kid, yeah. I taunted spirits and things like that. I went and worked in haunted houses that were assumed to be haunted. And I say assumed because the majority of people said that there were stories about it, but a lot of people didn't believe it. A lot of other people had accounts. You know how that stuff goes. But when you hold a haunted house in it and stuff starts happening, people start having nosebleeds. Uh, Purely live tree has a branch that falls and almost hits your brother when you're hearing people scream in a house that no lights are on, it's all locked up, and it has a security system in it that would be going off if anybody was in the home. But you're hearing high pitched screams coming from the home as you're going to as we were going to the little cabins that were next to it, because that's where we stayed, close to where it was. That way we didn't have to go far to run the haunted house. And yeah, and I'm not talking about it had like a snap break. It had like somebody had cut it with a chainsaw. But when we were there, we never heard anything break, anything cut. Nobody cut, turn on a saw, nothing. But this thing fell directly above my brother's head and landed like 6, 7 feet away from him. almost like something was trying to hit him and something said no. Yeah, I was standing behind him when it happened. I'm watching it, you know. And all of a sudden, I see something falling out of a tree. I'm going to look up, and I watched it. It said, didn't hit nothing but air. But also, like I said, you know how when stuff, if it's a live tree, it would have to be very windy or very stormy or something really forceful to snap that thick of a limb. I mean, this thing is like this thick. And when I looked up where it came from, it was completely clean cut off, like a chainsaw had cut it off. 100%, no bullshit. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just telling you, I have seen things. But, I found out that all that stuff was necromancy and witchcraft, Satanism. It was all of it. Um, my sister used to, go into graveyards and do seances with candles and shit. Yeah, she was fucking woo. She got better at it, than got away from it, at least from what I hear. But, that's why I know about it. Some of it. I didn't go as far as these people have, but I went far enough that, yeah, I seen, I seen enough. And then when I got older, I ended up going to atheism, thinking that was something different. It just meant that you didn't believe that there was anything out there. And that was a lie. I know everybody has all that. Well, why would this and why would that? A lot of the stuff that goes bad is people's free will and not caring about the choices they make. And yes, I was young and dumb. I thought I was caring about the choices I made. But as I gained my wisdom in my hindsight, I found out that those decisions were very stupid. I didn't live here when I was 15. I lived in Joppatown. I was there for a year and a half. And I come back, I got the job at American Home Interiors a few months after I come back. Yeah, me and Bethany were over with for shoot almost a year. Yeah, I just worked. I wasn't trying to deal with that. Also, in between that time is when 9/11 hit. Yeah, that's right when I came back from Joppatown. I stayed here for a couple of months. Started working in Elkton at American Home Interiors. Got my apartment on Mackle Street. Yeah, I was only here for. I left Uncle John's in August. I was working side work, so I was working. I just, wasn't working like I normally. I was taking a damn break, man. And then, the job for American Home Interiors came up, and I was like, cool. I don't even have to worry about going out and looking for work. I'll just go there. So I did. I got it, and I kicked ass, dude. But yeah, I mean, mm, I don't know. We all got to make our mistakes and go through life, and if we make too bad of mistakes, you end up in situations like this, even if you didn't intend it for any of that to go that way. So yes, the decisions I made and the people I put in my life was the reason why this went down. But that's the furthest I'm accepting accountability for what went on with my kids. And the reason why is because they were mainly with their mother. Kyle, I didn't even get a chance. I didn't know what to do. I was a new dad. Nobody else knew what to tell me. I figured by not throwing a, big court issue and all that and just trying to get them to calm down and let them get to know me a little better, things would change. No, it did not. Yep, feminism. That's one of the big problems, and the fact of mental illness not being addressed properly, and the fact that other grown, nasty men were doing things that they should have been put away for. And I don't know why. I don't even know why her dad didn't fight more. He just let it go when she went back to her mom's. Yeah, I don't get it. I've never done anything wrong to this man. Nope. Except for the car thing, which I paid for. I paid him for it. Now we did live with his girlfriend and him in Havre Grace for a little while, and then they moved to Ellesmere, Delaware, and I was taking Bethany back and forth, you know, so she wouldn't have to change schools. She could still go to Rising Sun because she was staying solely with her dad at that time. Because this was after my brother had gotten her drunk here, and no, I did not get her drunk. I didn't even know it was going down. I was up in the backyard helping my mom out with stuff that she had me doing. Um, Actually, he had a friend here. Richard Madden was a kid I went to school with. He ended up raping and murdering a little girl and going to prison. Yeah. Same dude that I beat up for trying to mess with Yvonne when we were going to homecoming. Because I did go to school with him, and we were, I don't want to call him a friend. I will consider him an acquaintance. But he had known me ever since the fourth grade because he ended up going to Perryville with me and Josh and Tony. Uh, wow. But I mean, he was a sick motherfucker. I never thought that he had it in him to do something like what I found out later. But yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Some bullshit. Yeah. Being distracted and manipulated and being raised by a feminist mother made me give these people, which were mainly females, the benefit of the doubt. Always thought that there was a better one out there. Every which way I went, man. That's exactly what I'd run into all the time. They have mental issues and trauma that they had not gotten any type of help for whatsoever. I did. Even when I was being accused of being crazy because I beat up 4 kids on a third grade playground. Even though I knew I wasn't the problem. I won the fight, but I was not the problem. They got mad at me because the girls wanted me to come jump rope with them. And 4 boys, Richard Hill, Matt Grauer, Evan Truitt, and can't remember the other dude's name. But yeah, it's third grade. They surrounded me. We were just standing there talking. They were all in front of me. I thought we were friends. And Sarah come over, and Danielle and them are all over there playing. And Sarah come over and said, "Hey, why don't you come over and jump rope with us?" I'm like, "All right, I'll be over." So I told them, see guys, I'm going over here. I want to come. And they're like, no, we're good. So I went over there. I played with them. And then they stayed huddled over there. And Richard come over and got me. He's like, hey man, come over here. We got to talk to you. I'm like, okay. So I walked over there and they surrounded me and started getting mad.